Hey guys.
Hey, hey, hey.
All right, let's wait a couple seconds. We have to really stop digging 10 minutes before we start to go live. Poor brain can't
Hang
handle.
on, I'm just on the live doll. I'll send it to you.
ah, uh, uh, uh.
Sorry about that, Ma. I got a phone call just as we went live.
Oh, you're good, girl. You're good. I feel like we're alone in here.
Pardon?
I said I feel like we're alone in here.
I know.
It's
Turning my
sad. You
volume
know
up.
what though? Considering that winter's over and the weather's beautiful, people are probably out enjoying the day.
Oh, good on them.
We'll
I
get
mean,
started.
it's.
Hey,
Oh,
Skip.
there we go. We're not alone.
Yeah, we got some new information. Interesting
Sure do.
pictures.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yes, we do. And we're going to go over January's timeline because we're missing something. But now
Yes.
it's starting to get filled in. And then we'll go over the neighbor with all of this interesting information that's came out.
Absolutely.
Where are you, little Lena?
Yeah.
Hey, Tracy. Oh, we sure do. We had a really interesting phone call last night with somebody. I don't know how long was that phone call.
Oh, I don't know. It was a couple of hours.
Interesting information. But the most interesting information that I'm finding out is the before Lena went missing and after Lena went missing in the complex.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you think we should do the timeline in January since it's not really too much, and then we'll jump into the information from the neighbor and the neighboring complex?
Yeah, that was a very, very interesting. This information that's come to me, to say the least.
You know what this is like, and it's like I said last night. It's almost turning into three different puzzle pieces that will complete their own puzzle, but they'll be connected because of Lena.
Yeah,
Hey, Shredder. that's that's our Aurora. Please, that's the mascot for the channel. She no longer belongs to you, Shredder. We've
yeah,
adopted her, and we have adoption papers.
we do. Shredder might not know about it, but we do.
Tracy, yeah, Tracy Smith. It's an inside job.
Yep.
The first thing I want to talk about, I got a comment last week from a. I'm just going to show you guys. Let me just find it real quick. I had it up, but of course I closed it. One sec, guys. There was a comment from a girl who lives in the complex that said that. Hang on one sec. You can talk, Kaz. Don't be shy.
Me? Shy?
Oh,
It's. I've only had two coffees, so I'm still waking up, even though I've been awake since 1:30 this morning.
stop. It's 6 o'clock in the morning there.
I know. I know what time it is. I'm just glad I'm not. I'm doing this via my profile picture and not actually showing you guys what I actually look like at 6 o'clock in the morning.
All right, let
Oh
me just
god.
mute this. Okay, let me share screen.
I'm just waiting for my barista to bring my other coffee.
And it's right here.
You need to make this menu
Julia
bigger.
S. Parents know what happened to her. There is no way she just disappeared. They are playing all of you. I live there and have seen the father numerous times joking and laughing with friends. Now, that might not be like, some people act different to everything, but a lot of things are starting to come back to the Afghani side of the community. Julia, I wish you would email me, please. We'll keep you confident. Keep you a nice little confidential, informative. Do you think that we should? I think we should talk about. What do you want to do first, Kaz? The timeline in January
Yeah,
with the
we'll
couple?
do
Okay.
timeline first. Yeah.
Okay. So, Julia, please send me an email. I responded to you with the email address. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's do a recap then. Let's just jump back into January 3rd, the first time where I actually saw Pamela Allen come into the scene. And I'm not bringing her up, I'm just making an observation that this is the first time I saw Pamela. And we did watch this on the last live, guys, but we're going to watch it again.
Are your sneezes putting your friends in awkward positions? Stick with Zyrtec. Zyrtec starts working hard at hour 1 and works twice as hard when you take it again the next day. Zyrtec, muddle no more.
So this is the search when Pamela Allen, Eagle Flight, joined in with the search team. Now, I don't know if it's the first time she came around or it was their first search together. Let me turn this volume down.
Yes, dear.
I mean, as far as we searched and we've looked, I haven't seen Pamela Allen before this search right here. And after this is when she started speaking.
Correct.
And this was
I don't recall seeing her prior to this.
Me neither. And that was January 3rd. This is not about Pamela Allen, though, today. Then we go into January 4th when Nina Glass joined the search.
Yep.
I got my good eye on you, Nina. I'm still watching you, girl. And this I always found this to be very interesting. Listen to what she says.
I would actually search all this. I would actually take medical and start on medical in Fredericksburg and stay on medical going all the way down. There's a park right here too.
On Babcock. I just stay right on medical.
Yep. Just go straight down Medical Drive all the way to Babcock.
What park are you referring to?
It's Rustic. Search all.
And you got that wrong, Nina. It's Rustic Park Road where there's an apartment complex.
Yeah.
We can show you a picture, guys, if you want to see it, but it's real. February 4th, the FBI dive team joins the search. And this was over This
in
was
that
over
creek
because
area.
because they saw. I'm going to show the aerial. Somebody was out there with a flashlight.
Correct.
And this is just the aerial view. Of when they were looking for Lina. And this was the day that Riaz came out and he was praying because he thought that they said they had found Lina.
Yeah.
And it came down to a man was seen out there with a flashlight.
They never did find out who it was.
Nope.
Hi, my elderly cats. How are you, sweet?
Hi, my elderly cats. Something is just... That's the helicopter, guys. The footage. It's not me. But that was on
January 4th. Yep.
January 6th, the family of Lina thanks the community law enforcement for weeks-long search efforts. Kaz, do you want to mention that comment that you said earlier?
Which one?
The one just before we went live that threw us into...
Oh, that I threw a spanner in the works. Okay. Lina's been on my mind really, really strongly. And especially last night in the early hours of the morning, I was just lying there, looking at, I'd watched a couple of things not related to Lina on YouTube, and this picture came into my head, and it was that is Lina really the biological daughter of the little boy's mum? So I can't pronounce the name.
Zarmina.
Zarmina. And the reason that came into my head was the information I'm going to share with you guys in a little bit had me thinking that if she was used to running around and playing for hours on end, playing in the complex and other complexes close by, I as a mother would be concerned about that. Now, I know where she comes from. The kids run around, played everywhere because it was in a very small village, and that it's safe for them to do that. And I thought, well, is she really her biological child? Because she seems to be more focused on her little brother, because the boys do hold a higher status than the girls, or not. And I just happened to mention it to Ma when we were talking earlier on, and I'm thinking, what do you think of this? I mean, it's just my thought. I mean, I might be totally wrong, but I don't know. I've never met Lina's mum. I've never seen her, so I can't do a comparison for facial features. But I have seen a picture of a while ago that we thought that we knew was her mum, and her face, some of her facial features, well, a lot of her facial features aren't cohesive with how a mum looks like to me. And that's what got me going on that train of thought early hours of this morning.
And then right after we were talking about that, we spoke to a third party who came out of nowhere and said that people were actually starting to think, and I was just like, what? Oh my gosh. And when you guys hear what we have after this couple more timeline things, you're going to see exactly what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have the what, Kaz?
Down to Earth just said, I'll just pop it up on screen. Lina looks like the spit image of her father, not her mother. Yeah, it's the forehead and the distance between the eyes. She doesn't look a lot like.
We have a picture of her mom.
Yeah, we
So
do.
we've definitely looked into, and now I'm definitely going to look deeper. But if you guys don't know anything that we're going to say after these 3 more January timelines, you're going to, I couldn't even sleep last night. I sent Kaz a meme that said, my anxiety's calling, and it looked like an iPhone going off, and it said my anxiety, and the phone was ringing.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe
Okay.
what I get sent at all hours of the morning.
Oh, we're almost there. I'm rushing through the, not rushing, but I'm getting through this. So this is January 6th. It was updated. Family
Yeah.
of Lina Khil thanks community and law enforcement for weeks-long search efforts.
And then January 7th.
Yeah, let's watch this real quick because Pamela's going to speak here.
Okay.
First at 5, she's been missing for 17 days now, and the latest tip to SAPD and the FBI has turned up no new leads.
Frustrating. For 2 days, crews were searching a grassy area with a creek near the 5700 block of Babcock Road. This video gives you a general idea of just how far that location is from where Lina Khil was last seen. Away from her family, the Villas del Cabo complex.
Our driver snapped from that scene with why the search has now been called off. And where are we now in the investigation, Jaffney?
Yes, guys, the San Antonio Police Department just released a statement.
Don't you love the ad?
Saying that the search of this creek that you see right here concluded without any conclusive findings. Police say the initiative to search the area broadened the grid from where Lina was last seen Monday, December 20th, between 4:30 and 5:10 p.m. at the Villas del Cabo apartments. Police say countless hours have been devoted to evidence analysis, chasing down leads, and re-interviewing people. And we caught up with the family who has been working with Pamela Allen, the director of Eagles Flight San Antonio, which provides support for families of missing a loved one. Despite disappointing news, Allen said everyone is still hopeful for a positive outcome when this is all over.
We all want her to be found. It's now San Antonio's Lina, and now the country's Lina. People are just so focused on this because this baby is just so vulnerable, and they want her to be found.
Now, it is unclear when another search will take place, but police say that the next steps include widening the scope of the search for Lina and collecting actionable leads. They and the FBI are still asking for your tips for a reward up to $150,000. You can call their missing persons unit at 210-207-7660. Now, coming up at 6, you'll hear more about Lina's family and what they've been going through since her disappearance. Steve, Ursula?
Jaffney.
Hey, Raybird, thank you. Iconic is taking care of her babies, her family.
Yeah.
She's focused on other things, guys.
Which is totally
But as a
fine.
matter of
Family
fact, we
comes
do.
first.
Yeah, we do need to give her a call. It's been a couple days. See how she's doing. No, Schroeder, she didn't bail. She's taking care of her kids, her husband. She's got things going on. And I can't talk about it. Yeah, that's one thing. Iconic's a great mom.
Oh, heck yeah.
When she was showing me the pumpkins and the Halloween decorations, I was like, man, I wish I could be 7 years old and come hang out with you for a night.
Yeah.
She's a great mom.
She is.
Okay, so then we know, which is crazy to me, January 7th, they discontinued the Amber Alert.
Yeah, they did.
Yep. So January 9th, Eagle Flight, along with the Afghani community, we got 2 more videos, guys, and we're going to get into stuff that's going to make my head still spinning. It's like doing a memory. It's like like I said last night, it's like doing a memory game, but you have to do the memory game first and collect the pieces, and then you're doing 3 separate puzzles that you have to put the pieces in, and then all of these puzzles are going to connect through little Lina.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
amazing
guys,
how
someone told me, didn't someone told me that Lina sent me a message. Ah, interesting stuff. We're not going to stop, little Lina. Don't you worry. January 9th. This is not a video. I'm just going to touch on it. Come back. Ooh, Pandora.
I got lots of those.
Yeah, I have a beautiful Pandora bracelet. Okay, it's not spinning. So this is when the Lina went missing for 20 days, and Eagle's Flight, along with the Afghani community, continued to search for missing Lina. This was when it seemed to me that Pamela Allen was attached to Lawang Mangal's hip. And you know what? You have to ask yourself. Riaz has a couple names. Riaz, Mangal, Sardar, and we know that Khil is the tribe name.
Yes.
So what is Mangal? I mean, what part of the name is Mangal? I think I'm going to have to start looking on Ancestry for this guy.
Be interesting
Anyways,
to see if he is on there.
Yeah, this link is being mean. So this is when the 20th, when they're out searching in the field and Pamela speak, but her and Lawang Mangal, the translator, are just constantly attached at the hip. Around the 15th is supposedly the maintenance guy, but we're not even going to talk about him tonight.
No.
Lost the phone, got the ping or something like that. That's a whole nother ball game that we'll get into, guys. It's too much for today. The 22nd is when Pamela Allen speaks out on this video. I don't know. She's still. The thing that bothers me, I think, a lot about Pam is the fact that she never says Lina's name.
Yeah, it's really bizarre, that.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it just pisses me off. January 22nd. Daughter in here, guys. Come on. And after this video, I'm going to look at comments if it ever wants to load.
It's been a month since Lina Khil went missing. The 3-year-old disappeared on the afternoon of December 20th, sparking a massive search effort. And the Amber Alert for Lina is no longer in effect, but the FBI, SAPD, and local search organizations are still on the case. Pamela Allen with Eagles Flight has been a representative for Lina's family. Pam is joining us this morning to give us an update. But Pam, I want to ask you first, so many of us have been following this and saying our prayers. How is the family doing? And we've seen some images that are just heartbreaking.
They're not doing very well. Every day is another day without their baby. Every day they are having to deal with this loss.
She does have
father
nice teeth,
describes
though,
her
huh,
as the light of the family, and there's just such darkness and sadness in their home.
And Pam, also talk about, we've seen so many people in the community volunteer in the search efforts, so many people joining together to help find Lina. Talk about where you guys are right now and really the response from the community.
It's been tremendous. Americans, Afghanis, all joining together. There's some tremendous individual search teams out there trying to at least find a clue, because there's just like no clues whatsoever. And so that's been pretty amazing to see all of this come together. And because of lack of clues, I had so many people message me, text me, ask me for information as to whether she might have had jewelry. And that was the reasoning behind the postings with the jewelry. A lot of people asked, why are we just seeing these pictures now? Well, it wasn't up to me or to the family what the law enforcement officials deemed.
Kaz, is that the man from the pictures?
Can you go back a little bit, please?
Right there?
It could.
That's Luong.
Yeah, I know that's Luong. You can tell by his body. It could be. I'd have to have a look
Is
at the
that
picture
the
again.
man from the pictures that we're going to show? Okay, guys, remember this guy's face right here. You know what? Let me
I'm
take
going to have a look while you're playing the video.
Let me get a screenshot of him. That's a shitty one. Hang on, guys. Let me try it again. There we go. Okay, let me continue. Yeah, that guy just stood out to me now.
Now, well, it wasn't up to me or to the family what the law enforcement officials deemed as important. And so this is why we sent those pictures out for all the searchers, all the people out there looking for even the slightest clue of Lina. We sent those pictures out.
Wow. And, you know, Pam, a month has passed and often, unfortunately, people, you know, forget and move on. But this is something we want to, you know, keep the story alive to help find that little girl. You know, what are the families saying and how are you guys helping with keeping the word out there?
Well, we want to continue to push her picture. We've got buttons made. There's posters that a wonderful organization put out. And we just want to keep this information relevant. You know, a month has gone by, and on that anniversary, I got the father and the translator and some other people from the Afghani community, and we moved furniture to help other families just to try and not focus on this devastation that's entered into their home. And so, you know, we want to make sure that it's continual and people are out there looking continuously. They are so grateful for all the support that they're getting from our community.
And Pam, before we go, if someone's watching this morning and would like to help in the coming days, how can they sign up to be on one of those search teams?
Well, I know that there's some great search teams out there. We try to keep all information on our Facebook page, Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach. If you happen to get a poster, if you happen to get a button, please display it, please wear it, and please continue to pray for this family that is going through such a harsh time.
All right. Thank you, Pam. Our prayers are definitely with that family and law enforcement as they continue those searches. Thank you, Pam, for joining us this morning.
Okay, I've had a look at that photo, and it is definitely the one that I have a photo of.
Oh gosh.
That's
Okay.
Iman.
Yeah, the Iman.
Iman.
Yeah. So this. Okay. So that was a month in. They're continuing to search. The 22nd, the 29th. That is when Pamela O, who comes in here, spoke at Lina's visual.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. And we're going to look at that because it's not really long. The part where Pamela speaks, because let's just see who's there. Even though it was a little, even though it was a kid that did the filming, he could have zoomed in a little more, but we love him.
Yeah, he's only 10.
I know. He is the cutest thing, though. All right, so let me find that video real quick.
Oh, yeah, it's still Sunday for you guys, isn't it? It's Monday here.
Oh, I keep forgetting it was actually considered a live. Okay, here it is. You know, guys, like the last couple of days, we have received a lot of information
Oh, yeah.
that we can. I can't. We can't even get into it all today because I'm timed on the live today.
Yeah.
Kaz and her has real life appointments, but when everything comes on the table and we look through it, somebody's lying.
Yeah.
And that's the part that we have to figure out and try to decipher, like who is lying. And there's a lot of back and forth with the maintenance guy, as you guys all know. You know, I still have my eyeball on a few people that are involved with helping find Lena. I just have a few little people that make my skin go eh. But somebody's lying.
Yeah, definitely. With the information that's come to hand,
And
it's
when I start,
disturbing.
oh sorry, Kaz, I thought you stopped talking. You can't listen, Kaz. We know you're sexy and you have a great accent, but you can't pause in between because of the delay. Because I'm just gonna sound like I'm talking over you.
I'm sorry.
So you got to finish what you said and stop with the sexy Australian accent delays. I mean, we all love your accent, okay?
Oh, gee shucks.
But the delays is what gets us.
Yeah.
So finish, please.
I have finished, Mark. You can carry on.
There's two sides on this story. But then after we're going to go over, because we're done with the January, that's all that happened in January.
Yes.
And we'll do February next live. But I'm not too much, I'm focused on now really paying close attention. And I hate to say this, and people are going to get mad at Lena's family.
Yeah. There's a lot of information that's come to light that the average person, like myself, found disturbing.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, Kaz, you ready to tell
I
them
am
what?
ready.
You tell me
Okay.
what picture to show and bring. You know what, Tracy? I don't know how involved they are, but I asked a couple of people about reaching back out to the PI with this information today and some information that we have that we can't. I can't put that out here to like. I really want to live to see my next birthday.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to do a trigger warning before I go into this, Mar, because some of this information could trigger some people in the chat, whether they're, just listening or actually commenting in the chat, because I found this disturbing myself. I belong to a lot of groups, and I belong to 3 pertaining to Lena. And this particular person did a post. I'm not going to use her name because I don't want to dox her, but I have spoken to her privately and she has given me permission to share this with everybody. She is a concerned citizen who lives in the Sundance Apartments, which is just behind Lena's apartment complex. And what she says in these posts disturbed me. And I'll get through it. I do have some of the pictures, Marcel, already in the document, so I don't think I'll need you to pull any up. But once I share my screen, just let me know if you can see the photographs when I actually pull them up. Would be great.
Hey, Lisa. Hey, Julianne.
Okay. Now I can't see chat, so yep, I'm just looking on my phone. You can see the picture. Lovely. All right, this is one of the first posts that she did on January 2nd this year. Now that Sundance Apartments on-site manager was essayed in their leasing officer by a sponsor for Muslim men, and a 3-year-old girl child. I'm just reading how she's written it. Remains gone, and at the time the 150,000 reward from the mosque was not offered. Now, I didn't know this, and I'm not going to say this is true, but she says not offered until the mother became a suspect. Now, to my knowledge, that has never occurred, so this might be just her opinion. And she says the tall white man speaking perfect English is the media face. I'm not 100% sure what she's talking about that, but that's just the first post. And when I read that, this is where my concern started kicking in. This is a photograph that she posted on January 6th. And one of her concerns was that there is a lot of shady stuff that goes down at the Sundance Apartments. And one of them is that all these vehicles, unregistered, uninsured vehicles, are turning up at Sundance Apartments, and they are being dismantled in the Sundance Apartments, and they're thoroughly cleaned out. And this is a photo of them in the boot. One's in the boot. As you can see from the picture, they pulled out the bottom part of the car seat. There's another person in the back seat as well. And they're dismantling these cars and cleaning them, which she found extremely disturbing, to say the least. Okay, just scroll down. Bear with me.
I mean that's actually that they're just in the parking lot tearing cars apart like that.
Yeah, it is bizarre. And she said that there is a, how do you say? I say Iman. Amen. Iman.
Oh my
Who?
gosh, she said amen. We're gonna get in trouble.
I'm sorry. Sorry. It's my accent. I apologize. This gentleman from the mosque who supervises these gentlemen and organises them, it's spelled EMAM. There is a gentleman in this apartment in Block 3 that organises the activities with the mosque representative. I'm not going to try and say his name again. And he's the one that organises all these cars to come in. Then on January 7th, she said, I have asked that the recording of this, which I'll show you the picture in a second, of this patrol officer's car be carefully examined. The true facts must be thoroughly investigated. You are looking at the fence that separates our complex, being Sundance, and the one where the 3-year-old girl lived, which was Del Cabo. Accepted norms include these Muslim children, unattended, often not fed, and roaming around in our property for hours a day. She says, how ironic that my pictures caught the realities that existed and ignored being now right there on a police officer's dash cam. So she's brought this to the attention of people before, and they were saying, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And then a police officer just happened to be at the complex on a different matter. And of course, as everybody knows, the police car cams run constantly. When I took this photo and one other picture to the Prue Road police, the officer showed pictures of all the crimes being enabled by our on-site management, and the Prue Road police doing nothing, was completely blur. He didn't want to take down the unit number of that patrol car. He didn't say thank you for bringing these pictures in and didn't offer to email them to the FBI, which is concerning because we know of other people that have tried to pass on information to LE and they have come across exactly the same reluctance. She said it's disturbing. He didn't even realise that these pictures document the reasons that child disappeared. So I grilled him about traffic offences that are occurring in our complex, answers to why these officers believe and practice enabling this particular group of Muslims to drive around in cars with no licence plates or inspection stickers, only Sundance parking permits. All these cars have to be driven here, then have the interiors dismantled and scrubbed clean. Now, can you see the photo, Mal?
Yeah, I see it, and from a distance, that like the curly hair in the one picture, like that looks like Lina.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's Lina, but
two male children and a small female child walking between the two complexes. The building that you can see in the foreground is actually Del Cabo, and where this photograph was taken from was at Sundance. And this is where
I'm not trying to jump in, but let's not forget the video on Chisme Patrol's channel where she's driving through this apartment complex, and you can literally see all the holes in the fences going in between the apartments.
And this is what this person said to me. She said they constantly, on a daily basis, coming through the fence of Del Cabo, and they're coming over to the properly equipped playground that's situated in the Sundance. And we have seen a video of Lina on the swing, and that happens to be in the Sundance complex. So the lady was trying to ask, could the police look at this video, and they weren't even interested in taking down the police vehicle's car number, which is disturbing.
What I'll do is I'll blow up these pictures after you go through them, and we'll look at them bigger.
Yeah, I can make them bigger on here, but you can do it.
Yeah, I'll do it after, so we can look at them after. It gets a little nuttier.
Oh yeah. Now, this particular paragraph, she's referring to. I just need to go a step back. Chisme Patrol, as Mal said, has done a lot of visits to the Villa de Cabo apartments. And one of the comments that Chisme Patrol made was it was so unusual to see the amount of trucks parked in a residential street and cars that had no tags on parked in a residential street. Now we know why. But this lady did an update, and this is what her concern was. In this update, I call your attention to the large white truck parked in the street by Sundance and has been allowed to be driven around all over our area of town. It's been there for 2 years now and is parked in the street nightly with no consequences. Now that's concerning. Well, newsflash, this untraceable truck has been implicated in human, not very nice things. My question to all involved in harbouring criminal activities by a specific group being given free rein in Sundance is if Lina's DNA is found inside that truck. She was asking about the reward money. Now, I do have a picture of the truck that she's referring to.
She said, I'll get the reward money.
Yeah. I don't think I actually put it in here. Hang on a tick.
She could be like emphasizing a few things, but she was there. She took the picture. She sees what's going on. So obviously, this is some stuff like this is happening in the I thought Lina was sheltered until I found out that she was definitely running around. And you'll hear more.
Now I'll just pull this. Oh, it's very big, Karen. You don't need it that big. I'll just shrink it down a bit. Okay, this is the truck that she's referring to. And I don't want to show the tag, so I'll leave it to there. But this is a white truck that Chisme Patrol also saw, and she questioned it in her video. I'll just quickly skip back so you can't see the tag. Then on March 15th, she said, and this is where it's really interesting, guys. All last summer, little Lina was left to roam around our complex, being Sundance, barefoot and unsupervised. She would have had to walk around the adjoining fence, very close to Blue Mill, to get into the Sundance property. She would often wander into our rental office, hungry and thirsty. On-site management never contacted Child Protective Services, so they were used to seeing her. And she's just going on to the fact that she believes she's older than 3 years. She thinks she's closer to 6. Judging from her body posture, she has no fear of being alone, and also her muscle coordination. Now, that no fear of being alone part was extremely.
Now listen, let me jump in real quick because I'm like sitting here biting my tongue. But if that is the truth, and Lina did run wild through that complex, because you'll get more into what people were doing for little Lina, but that is, see, I didn't think that. I thought Lina's mother was protective and she just happened to go to the apartment to get this. Like changes like a lot of stuff. Like the dynamics are totally different as far as thinking Lina was always with mom and then she went to get a water for 15 minutes and Lina was gone. No, obviously they were running wild through the apartment complex.
Yeah,
if this is true.
It is. I just want to address some of down to Earth Astrology's comments. Yeah, I thought the same thing, down to Earth, about, she was, she may have been just, she is a lady around my age, and I thought, well, maybe, she's retired, maybe she's just more concerned about what's going on in her complex than she should be. But then when I actually spoke to her and I saw the photos that she's taken of what's occurring in there, not only the cars, but there's other things as well. She's just a resident who wants to live in a home in peace and quiet without tons of car parks being strewn around the car park, without tons of other rubbish being thrown over the fence into the spare lot at the back. And I can understand that, because everybody wants to live in peace and harmony. I'd get peeved too if I had somebody constantly knocking and banging, from dusk to dawn. Sorry, from dawn to dusk, not dusk to dawn. And I totally understand the fact that you find it is very painful for me to actually say these things, because it is disturbing to me. If this is correct, that she's seen Lina running around constantly for hours on end, I'm getting a bit angry with Lina's mum, because no child of that age should be running around for hours on end.
You ask yourself, like everyone's starting to ask, is Lina the biological daughter to Mina?
I mean, it just seems very strange to me that a mother would allow a child of that age to be running around loose for hours on end and going into the rental office in another complex.
Oh, I totally agree.
Now, here comes some more. So again,
hey, Chisme.
Hi,
But what
sweetheart.
I'm thinking is I don't think she's running around alone. I think she's running around with a pack of kids.
Yeah, but she also goes into, when she's been in, from what this person's told me, when she's going into the management office, she's on her own. She's not
No,
coming in
that's
with
a
any
little
other children.
yeah, that's a little strange. And then you have to think, well, is she looking for the to hang out with the girls to have whatever? So is Sarmina her bio mom?
Well, this next paragraph will bring
Shit.
even more concern because this lady said that Lina was very friendly. She seemed to be a little bit starved for affection, and she wanted to come into people's apartments at Sundance.
Bingo.
She had no shyness or fear for her safety, and residents actually thought she actually lived there because she was there so often and would come to other people's apartments. And she said she was just a sweet, precious little person.
Ugh.
You know, that is really concerning. And again, she does go into more about what's going on at the apartment complex, because if you're being disturbed from 7 a.m. in the morning to late at night by the goings on, that's what she was just voicing about there. So I won't go over that part. And she, just so everybody knows, she has been in with contact with the police. She has tried to get this information to the FBI, but they just don't seem to want to listen, even though she's got photographic proof, and that is concerning.
Yeah, Don, she's just saying what she observes from living at the apartments.
Down to earth. The actual photograph that I showed you just previously actually does show you the kids coming from El Cabo over to Sundance, and you can actually see there's 3 children on this particular photo that she took.
And we might actually have that video finally that Chisme has for us to watch when Chisme goes and talks to all the little kids at the playground a couple days after Lina goes missing. Those kids went back and forth. Don, you want to know how we know? Really? Because the picture of Lina on the swing underneath that little pavilion with the cedar chip ground, that's from the Sundance.
Yes, it is.
That's from when her going and playing over there on the actual playground and not the actual dog park.
Yeah, I put the truck in the wrong place.
So they definitely go back and forth. They got holes in those fences down to earth that you could fit like a Volkswagen Bug through.
Yeah. And what she also stated too was she has witnessed this herself, that she's seen Lina's dad speak pretty much perfect English, and could understand the English spoken word. But then all of a sudden, he would, like, when somebody that he didn't know or got close, he would put his head down and then stop speaking English and go back to his own dialect. That I found very disturbing.
I'm opening up a few pictures. You know, I've always thought that it was somebody that she would have felt comfortable with, and she knew.
Yeah,
but obviously she's a friendly little girl.
Yeah.
Sad.
It is sad.
Okay, Cass, so what was this again?
Okay.
It looks like Riaz from behind, even the shape of his head and the haircut. But I know who it is now.
Yeah. The gentleman on the right in the white is an actual person from the mosque. And the person on the left is the gentleman that organises all the cars coming in and out of being stripped down, cleaned out, at the Sundance Apartments.
That reminds me what she Down just said from that movie Without a Trace when she calls about the little boy next door and she says, "Yeah, I'm having tea with God," and that little boy comes outside and plays. You never. I mean, she might just be a woman who's retired and maybe she's just nosy and she's always out and about in the. I don't know what we're looking for evidence of. The only thing she's saying is that cars were torn apart. They're loud. Oh, can you go about the phone calls and before Lina went missing? I'm going to take everyone. What anyone says, I'm taking it all in, like I said, on 3 puzzle boards.
Yeah, I
because
just want
it's
to
going
address.
to fit.
Yeah, down to earth. She actually, when you saying that she's bigoted, white person. Well, A, she's not white. She's of color. B, her best friend is Afghani herself, and they own a UPS franchise.
Hey, Benton.
So I don't believe she's bigoted. What I do believe is she's angry at the constant goings on around her complex. And this is the gentleman that lives at the complex that organises all the vehicles to be stripped and moved. Or if they're not moved, they're left there for hours and hours, not hours, sorry, for days or weeks on end. Hi, Benton. So
I don't care where the information comes. I do know this. I do know that the information from 3 different people that do not know each other is all starting to come together that there's even a rumor. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, but there's a rumor that he has a couple wives. There's a lot of rumors, guys, and there's a lot of stuff going on. The question is, who's telling the truth? Who is lying? So you have to listen to everybody and you got to put it together and see what pieces fit and what contradicts. And then somehow you got to figure out, what are you going to do? Say, hey, can you go do a polygraph test for me? You can't. You have to just go on your instinct and gut sometimes. What fits and fits.
Yeah.
But I think the kids were definitely, and I think we said that long before she even mentioned it, that we always thought the kids were going back and forth between those holes in the fences.
Oh, well, that came out in the very early part of Lina's disappearance. That was the whole reason that they did such an extremely thorough search of the Sundance apartments, because they were told that Lina goes over there to play. Because it also has quite a large Afghani community in that complex as well.
Yeah. I'm looking for that picture of the kids at the fence. I think, okay, so go ahead real quick and say what she said about everyone talking on the phones and how loud they were before Lina went missing and then after. All of this stuff is important to me. I need to know what everyone's side is. And then if Julia can get back to us, who lives in another community, I would like to hear everything she has too, so I can do my own little puzzle with everyone's information.
Correct.
Because there's truth everywhere, and then there's bullshit everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
But unfortunately, you got to take the good with the bad to decipher, to get to what's going on.
Yeah.
Shit, I might have talked to a murderer on the phone already. Who knows? Exactly. I got messages from Lina. We got messages. It's just, I'm overloaded. But yeah, go ahead, Kaz. Tell them what she said about.
Okay, she said prior to Lina actually going missing, not only the Afghani men, if a lot of males would be constantly unemployed males, constantly walking around the complex, all hours of the day and night, talking quite loudly, enough to be heard because these apartments are not very soundproof. Heard quite loudly talking, having conversations with different people, which is cool. That's fine. But she said what she found unusual was after Lina went missing, all that seemed to stop. All of a sudden, there weren't people hanging around the complex, and you couldn't hear people talking on the phone. And she just found that extremely unusual. Why change your behaviour after Lina went missing? Because it wasn't even their complex that she went missing from, and she just thought it was very unusual. And it is. I mean,
I always thought it was weird, Kaz. I said it from day one, that she just went missing just when the mother went to get the water. And 18 minutes, she's gone. But now, like, what if he? I mean, listen. We know we that religion, they're allowed to have up to 4 wives.
Yes.
Okay. So what? So then it's okay over there. It's not okay over here. But what if he does have a couple more wives in that community in San Antonio?
Yeah. Well, they might. They won't be technically married to our understanding of a marriage, but they are a polygamist. Only normally has one legal wife, and they have other wives that they call wives.
This is going to fire Benton up. Watch.
I know.
Hey, Brown's mermaid. We're trying. We are trying.
But they can have up to 4 wives, one being a legal wife, the other 3 being sister wives. Excuse the pun. And then they're also allowed concubines. So these guys must have a lot of energy.
It's funny you said that, and I just thought of Man on Fire again when she asked him about that. Okay, but that's probably it for today.
Yep.
Maybe Julie will get back to us and tell us her side of living in what she saw. Listen, if the lady wants to tell me everything, I'm going to listen to everything you have. Because I want to know every little piece of clue so I can put it in my big, messed up puzzle.
And it is a giant jigsaw puzzle. There's so many different parts to it. You've got to work out which are accurate, which are embellishments. Because
and
who to
believe.
Truth.
And who to believe.
Exactly.
Choose me. Yeah, we'll look at it. Next time we go live, which I'm sure it will be soon, we're going to do the rest of the timeline, and we're going to go through your videos.
Yeah.
And maybe Julia, I can't remember now. I'm brain dead. Will get back to us before the next live, and she can stay anonymous. Like she can even email me whatever she wants to tell me if she doesn't even want to talk to us. I just want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah. All right, then, Ma. Well, I need to start getting my day going. So
all right, darling. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. Hey, Marion.
Oh,
we're not going to stop, Marion. And McManus, if you're listening, we know you got your hands full with the poor boy that was shot, but we're not going to stop asking about Lina.
No. And Benton, that trigger warning pertained to what I was talking about earlier on before you came in. So if you want to, you just you'll have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, it's in the beginning.
What do you mean clickbait, you cheeky monkey? We don't do clickbait on here.
Who said clickbait?
Benton, but he's joking.
No, Benton, it's in the beginning about this. In the beginning, there's a lot of rumors. See, I know they're rumors. Until I can see that it's definite proof, I just put all these rumors together. But supposedly the assistant over at the Sundance Apartments, and you have to watch the video to understand where the Sundance is, next door to Lina, through the fence hole.
Yeah,
she was essayed by and Afghani man, you said, right?
Correct.
Yes. So that's all on that, but you have to watch yeah, it's just a rumor though, but you know, shit. That's just crazy.
It is crazy stuff. Well, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Schroeder, we love you, and give Aurora little kisses for us.
Yeah, I've always right, Benton.
Kaz, I can't believe we have an adopted little baby together, a little rat named Aurora.
Yeah, I know. Ain't you cooked?
Yeah, Benton, there's a lot of stuff going on. And we have some more stuff that we're looking into and hearing about, but shit, it's...
Yeah. We won't be going into that until we've got categorically 100% proof.
Hey, W. This might be the first time in a case that I actually might have to flip-flop into... I don't know, Kaz. I do know that I want to stick with what I always thought, and I always believed that she was taken by an Afghani male. I don't know why, but I've just always thought it. But I also thought it would have been somebody that Lina knew or felt comfortable with. But I came off that Lina was a shy little girl, and she wasn't out of the sight of her parents. But now that if this is true, and Lina did run, and not to mention the other bit of information with the lost cell phone and that situation, like if that is true, like that's fucking, excuse my French, that's disturbing.
Hi, Jess.
I can't believe you made me cuss, Kaz. You're such a naughty girl.
I know, I'm naughty. I can't help it.
Hey, Jess. We miss you, girl. I told Kaz and Chisme earlier, I said, I'm ready just to pack up my animals and go move to Texas for a month.
She did say that.
I'm tired of doing this from long distance. I want to talk to people.
Yeah. And
all right, guys. All right, I gotta go. I know. Shut up.
Put a gag on ya.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming in. Keep your baby safe and stay vigilant. We're looking for you, Lina. Bye, Kaz.
Bye, Ma.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Well, actually, we're just trying to ruffle feathers and see what feathers stick in the shit. Is that how it goes? I don't know. All right, bye.
Bye, doll.